Hey guys, we are gonna totally go for it today. I'm going to do a look that is going to be neutral but multi-tonal and various colors within the neutral family, and I'm gonna do a neutral multi-tonal eye with a dramatic lip. You can always substitute the lip for something else, but I've been doing the exact same lip look now day after day after day, and I love it, but that's exactly why I need to do something different, because I was in such a rut with that lip look that I was doing because I loved it so much. I can't stop using it. Alright, so I'm gonna pin my hair back so that it won't be in my way as I'm working. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the whole thing, but I've been having a problem with my camera shutting off, and my battery is fully charged. I format the SD card, the whole bit, but for some reason my camera keeps shutting off. So what I'm gonna do is if it shuts off, I'm going to turn it back on and continue to film and try to piece the pieces together, or if it's too long then I'll post it as two parts, but we'll see how it goes. But I want to include everything in here because a lot of people like to see everything from start to finish. So let's go. First step, always moisturize my lips. EOS lip balm. Don't mind my nails. I didn't put a top coat on last night. I painted my nails and then didn't put a top coat on, trying to save time. Totally not worth it, because now I'm gonna have to do them again because they're all chipped on the ends. I just wanted to see if I could get away with it, but couldn't. The funny thing is that quick dry top coat that I'm using now, it takes so little time, but you know, sometimes you try to cut corners and it's not worth it. Alright, lips are moisturized. The next step is my e.l.f. Eye Refresh, and this is it's just a moisturizer that feels really nice under my eyes. It's sort of like an eye cream except in liquid form, and feels wonderful. Okay, and then the next step is going to be my NYX Dark Circle Concealer in the shade Light, and this is more or less a corrector. They call it a concealer, but it's peach colored and it comes in lots of different shades. I get it in the shade Light, but if you have lighter skin than me, there's one shade lighter. If you have darker skin than me, there's several shades darker. And I don't wait until that e.l.f. Eye Refresh is completely dry. I sort of rub this corrector into the e.l.f. Eye Refresh, and they just kind of blend together. Okay, and next is going to be my foundation. Believe it or not, I'm still working off that sample that I got from Sephora of the NARS foundation. Oh, and I got my coupon! My coupon came, so now I can get 15% off this one. I'm gonna buy the full size when the sale begins on Thursday. And the sale begins for me on Thursday because I'm VIB, but if you're VIB Rouge, then it's already going on for you right now. And then Beauty Insider is a few days after regular VIB starts. If you participate in the Sephora Rewards program, you either got a certificate already, or you will be getting one, or you just got one. Okay, I'm going to start in the nose area because I was doing some research about this foundation and they suggested you start from the center of the face and work your way outward. And by the way, I know some of you said that you don't use your fingers to apply this, but it works for me, and that is what NARS recommends. So I figure they designed it, so they ought to know. You'll see when we get to the bronzer step that I started using my NARS Laguna bronzer after not having used it for a long time. And it's got shimmer in it, but for some reason when you blend it in, you don't see that. I got some sun over the weekend, so I'm a little bit darker than I was before. I don't want to get too much darker though, because I want this foundation that I'm gonna get, I want it to stay color matched to me. I don't want to have to buy it again, not at $50. That would be awful if I got so dark. If I bought the foundation and then I got darker and couldn't use it till next fall or something. I would imagine though you could just like maybe put more bronzer on to compensate or something. I don't know. Hopefully that won't happen. Okay. So as you can see, I didn't put hardly any on, and you get phenomenal coverage with this. Okay, the next step is going to be concealer. I've got the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Fair. And where's my brush? Oh no, don't tell me. My concealer brush is not on the table in front of me. I usually try to get everything all lined up beforehand. Oh, here it is. I don't know how it ended up over there. Okay, so I used the e.l.f. Studio Concealer Brush and Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in Fair. Sometimes I just put like 3 dots and then sometimes I put a lot. It just depends. Oh, I know what it was. That other concealer that I was using, I used to use 3 dots because it was so thick and such a heavy concealer, and the Maybelline Fit Me one is much lighter and creamier, so you have to use a little bit more. That's what it is. Okay, now I'm also going to use a Beauty Blender sponge because right in the corners it tends to get a little too thick there. So I'm just going to take this in the corners to really get in there and blend that out a little bit. And then I'm just going to sort of pounce it on the rest, like where the foundation meets the concealer, to just kind of blend it a little bit better. Okay, next step is I'm going to take my Wet n Wild Fergie mattifying powder in Pedestal, and I just use a little bit of this to set those concealers, and I use the puff that comes with it, and I just put just a little bit in that area. And just press it in. As far as I know, this only comes in one color, by the way. Okay, next I'm going to take my Maybelline foundation stick, Maybelline Fit Me Shine Free foundation stick, and this is in the shade Pure Beige, which is 4 shades up from my normal foundation shade. And I'm just going to put that right there, like my contour. And I'm going to take this Real Techniques contour brush in number 301 and blend that in. This is a very soft contour. but I'm going to add a little bit of bronzer on top of that when I bronze my face. Okay, so the contour base is done. Next, I'm going to do blush, and I'm going to use MAC Dame, and this is a very basic pink blush. It goes with so many different looks. I really like this. I've had it forever, but there's not much gone because I have so many different blushes. I'm going to use my Real Techniques brush in number 300 and just put a little bit of that on. And just kind of merge that a little bit with that contour. And we're going to do just, you know, a tiny bit of this blush in this tame sort of color because I'm going to go a little dramatic with the eyes and very dramatic with the lips. So I have to tone it down somewhere, so I'm toning it down with the blush. Okay, next is NARS bronzer in Laguna, and like I said, this has shimmer in it, but it doesn't really translate once you have it on. I'm going to use a Zoeva 104 Buffer brush to apply that, and I don't know where you can get Zoeva brushes. This was a gift from my friend June. I think they're mostly available in Europe. And I'm going right along the hairline. And then I'm going to go right over that foundation stick contour. And then I'm going to go right around the frame of my face on the bottom here, right on the jawline. And then I'm going to take a little bit and blend it down my neck so that my neck won't be stark white and have a big giant contrast. Okay. And for highlight, let's see, for highlight, because I've noticed that because I put that mattifying powder to set my concealers, it's better if I take this highlight here that's in the NYX contour and highlighting palette and use that. That way you don't have any problems with color differentiation. And I'm just going to use an e.l.f. Studio fan brush and just work that across the top of my cheekbones. Alright, so that is the face. Camera's still holding out. Next is the eyes. I'm going to use a MAC paint pot in Tailor Gray, which looks like that, and it's basically just a taupe type shade. It's like a warm taupe. And I'm going to use my fingers and I'm going to put that on the lids and a little bit into the crease. Just sort of fade it out a little bit as I go through the crease. I'm going to try to make that as even as I can because this is also going to be my lid shade and I'm going to work around this. Okay. Next is going to be my Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow in Burnt Orange. This is going to be our crease shade. And I'm going to use a Real Techniques brush in number 201, which is the crease, pointed crease brush. Actually, no, let's not use that. Let's use the Real Techniques base shadow brush, because I want to use that other one for something else. And this, I love this in the crease too. Okay, so that was Anastasia Burnt Orange. Alright, next I'm going to take that Real Techniques pointed crease brush, which is number 201, and I'm going to take another Anastasia eyeshadow called Warm Taupe, and I'm going to put a little bit of that on my brush, and I'm going to go right under the lower lash line, about 3/4 of the way in. Okay, now I'm going to take a Real Techniques accent brush, and I'm going to take MAC Naked Lunch, and I'm going to put some of that as my inner corner highlight shade. This brush and the base shadow brush are part of the Real Techniques basic eye brush set, and that's a real bargain, because you get a lot of good brushes for not a lot of money. And certain ones I use all the time, and honestly some of them I don't ever use, but it's worth it to get them that way. Sorry if you hear banging, that's the trash man is here. Okay, now I'm just going to take a little bit more of this Naked Lunch, and I'm going to just dab some of that on my finger and put that right in the brow bone highlight area. And then I am going to do my waterline with Wet n Wild Color Icon eyeliner and Calling Your Buff. Then I'm going to take a Maybelline Master Kajal Cream Coal eyeliner in Midnight Brown, and I'm going to go a little bit right on the lower lash line. So between the eyeliner I just used and then the eyeshadow that I placed under the lower lash line. Just going to go a tiny little bit of this Okay, the camera just shut off, but we're just gonna continue. I'm gonna try to splice that footage together in the editing. So I'm just going right in between the Wet n Wild liner on my waterline and the shadow that we placed under the lower lash line. Then I'm gonna take the same eyeliner except in black, and I'm gonna do my tight line. Because I feel like the black goes better with the Tailor gray. So we're going warm underneath the eyes, and then we're going kind of neutral in the middle, and then we're putting warmth above, and then neutral again for the highlight. So it's like a multi-tonal thing. I did a look like this a few months ago using different products with slightly different colors, so it's kind of a variation on that. Alright, now let's see what's next. Oh, mascara. Wet n Wild Max Volume Plus Mascara. Okay, now in case any of you are curious about the Maybelline Brow Drama, I'm gonna do my brows. And what this ends up being is it's a very soft look. You don't get like a defined eyebrow look with this, but I kind of like it. It's very muted, and it fills in your brows a little bit, but not all the way. It looks really natural. I like the color matching on this because it's not exactly the color of my brows, but it blends nicely with that color. So it just fills them in a little bit. Alright, so what does that leave? Lips. I'm gonna do something crazy. We're gonna do MAC lip liner in Night Moth. And if you're not familiar with this shade, it's a deep, deep, dark cross between burgundy and purple, I would say, or a deep, deep plum. You'll see. And of course you can just substitute something else for the lips if this isn't your cup of tea. I've got a very strange lip line that's really hard to work with because the edge of it is like faded, so sometimes it's really hard to see where the exact line is. On the top part I can see it easily, but on the bottom it's a little faded. Okay, alright, I'm gonna go try to do something with my hair and I'll be right back. So that's the completed look, and I'm kind of glad in a way that I went with this Night Moth lip pencil. I'm not going to put anything over it. I'm kind of glad that I went with this lip color because it kind of ties my shirt color into the look and sort of brings the whole thing together. I thought it was going to be really, really crazy, but it's not bad, and I think it's a good match with the eye look. So that is it for today, you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!